One of the biggest money traps that they don't want you to talk about, but I will, the 401k. You have to understand that the 401k was made in the 70s as a way to help high income earners reduce their taxable income, giving them the ability to take a part of their salary, put it away in an account that they wouldn't have to pay taxes on immediately so that they can delay taxes on a certain portion of their income. It was never meant to be your bread and butter account, all your hopes and dreams in one retirement account. As a matter of fact, Vanguard recently did a survey and discovered that the average 65-year-old today has $94,000 in their savings account. We know most middle class Americans don't have savings, and they reported about 2 weeks ago that Social Security is going to be done, depleted by 2034. So to my millennials, what are you going to do so that you can guarantee that you can retire and not be one of these 70-year-olds working at Walmart? Put in the comments below, what's your retirement strategy? I'm very curious to know.
So what I'm doing to get rich and build wealth is to not listen to you or anyone else just like you saying the same crap that you're saying. Listen, okay, everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but this opinion is stupid as shit. Saying a 401k is not good, and then regurgitating saying 96, the average salary for someone in the 60s is like the average amount, the balance is 96,000. Okay, what's the average amount of everyone in general in retirement? Damn near nothing. And to say $96,000 is nothing for majority of people is purely insane, because I have experience, especially with some of my family members and some of my friends' parents, that they were invested in a 401k and didn't even know it. They didn't even know it. They were living life reckless, not saving, because of course they don't teach you financial literacy, so they didn't understand what a 401k was. They didn't know anything. The money education we're getting today is amazing compared to the times where our parents had it. And little did you know, my mom was one of them. When she came to retire, she turned around and looked, and she had over $100,000 in her retirement account. And now for some people might think like, well, that's not a lot, right? It's not a lot. But with some social security and some savings that she did and living life diligently, living life below her means, she is able to retire comfortably. Not everyone needs to retire to just travel the world and be on mansions and whatnot. That's not the reality for everyone. Now, I'm not here to tell you it's a bad goal, right? I'm not saying that. I'm saying if that's your goal, then of course aim for it. And then I would tell you this, a 401k is not bad, but it's certainly a stepping stone if you want to build millions and millions of dollars. If that's your goal, then a 401k is the first step. Because if you do not appreciate the fact of taking free money, right, which is the company match, then I don't know what to tell you. And if you're working in corporate America and you have this dream of opening up your business, which so many people do, or you have this dream of not working a 9 to 5, it's not 100% guarantee that you are going to get that job, that business you're going to open or whatever. You're going to start working 9 to 5. It's not always 100% guaranteed. So in the meantime, get the company match. Get the company match. And if you like working in 9 to 5, once you get your match, then open up your own brokerage account. Matter of fact, open up a Roth IRA first. Max that out. This is levels to this, okay, guys? Not everyone has the ability to just forego a 401k and they just make so much money. That's just not how it works for majority of people. Majority of people, they have to start from the bottom and build their way up. And then if you get the opportunity to leave a 9 to 5 or to build, your own little business, then by all means, great. But that 401k money is yours. That is yours. Take it. That's for the time when you retire. There is nothing wrong with investing in a 401k. Period. And never forget this: a 401k is not an investment in itself. It's an investment account that allows you to save on taxes. As simple as that. You have to take advantage of that. You just have to. And her saying, well, this is something was created for people with so much money back in the days, these high earners, that was created for them. Well, isn't that your goal as well? Isn't your goal to be a high earner? Isn't your goal to do exactly what the wealthy people do?
Penelope, I love this statement. So let's get into it. You said, in what context, using the word trap, because the 401k is probably the most important vehicle when it comes to your retirement savings. See, it's because most of us, we weren't educated. You know, if you went to public school and you grew up in a middle class American household, they didn't really teach us about money for real. So let me tell you how it's a trap, because there's a couple of risks that are completely out of your control, but can completely control your retirement. The first one is the market risk. If the stock market were to drop like it did in 2008, retirement savers lost more than $3 trillion that year during that market crash. So imagine working, saving, doing everything right, putting money into your 401k, and then losing 20, 30% of your retirement in 1 year. How much time do you now have to go back to work to get that money back? Number two, taxes. The idea that this is an advantage for you to pay taxes later when taxes are going to go up is not an advantage. It's a risk that can cause you to not have enough money because you end up paying more in taxes than you expected. And that goes into the third risk, which is the longevity risk. We do not know how long we're going to live. And we are living longer. People are living and retiring for 20, 30, 40 years. People are living to be in their 80s and 90s. And so, how can you guarantee that you don't run out of your retirement money if the only thing you're really depending on is a 401k? You just don't know. And then you have the cost of healthcare. The older we get, the more likely we are to get sick. And we could potentially run out of money because we're taking on these unexpected expenses of healthcare. So, I have to disagree. I think the most important financial vehicle to have as a part of your retirement portfolio would be an account that allows you to still grow money, protect that money so you don't lose it, give you longevity by giving you guaranteed income no matter how long you live. And then if you got very sick and you had these unexpected expenses come up, they would give you access to more money. I'm actually a retirement specialist, so if you have more questions, just drop them in the comments.
It sounds like she's an insurance agent and she's just trying to sell you guys some type of annuity because nothing is guaranteed. And I appreciate that person's comment because that's the same thing I was thinking. It's like, how is it a trap? A trap to me is if you're stuck, right? If you're stuck in something, you're not stuck in a 401k. You have options, right? You could put money into a 401k, and that's one part of investing. And she was mentioning as well, as far as like, the health costs and whatnot, how expensive it's going to be in the future. But then put money in in a health savings account. You could open up a health savings account which has a triple tax advantage. You put money in tax free, it grows tax free, you take money out tax free. You see, there's so many options. Now, if she's saying to do that on top of the 401k, then that's awesome. But to sit there and just say it's a trap, it's just ridiculous. Watching her video is a trap. Yeah, I said it. Watching her video is a trap. And let me also explain something to people as well, because she said something that there's two things that she said that, well, it's a lot of things she said, but two things I really want to hop on. Number one, when she's mentioning all the risk, longevity risk, market risk, she's mentioning all this risk. Life is a risk. Going broke is a risk. Not investing is a risk. You're taking a risk. I don't care who you are, you're taking a risk in life. Period. You're never gonna invest in something that's to have no risk. If you want to do that, then invest in some treasury funds, put your money in a savings account within your bank, get go. That is no risk. Or take the cash out, just save it. That's no risk. But there is a risk. Inflation. There's a risk in every single thing you do. And if anything is going to give you a very high return, you have to expect a high risk. Now, her saying that the market dropped, it lost like 20 to 30%. Okay. Did you know it rebounded? You do not need to go back to work to recover that loss. And first of all, you didn't lose anything. The value of your portfolio went down. You didn't lose anything at all. If you didn't sell and you held on tight, all that money you would have made back plus some. And if you continued investing, you would have been buying everything on the discount. So your portfolio would be a lot higher than it all started with. You see, this is the games that a lot of people play when they try to poo poo stuff. I don't agree with that, right? I don't agree with blowing out someone else's candle to make yours look brighter. Don't do that. Just add on top of that. That's the reason why financial literacy is such an issue in America, is because so many people tell you, this is stupid, do this. This is stupid, do this. And then they end up in the trap. If you really want the true advice if a 401k is good or not, ask someone who's retired. Ask them how they feel about their money. You never hear that. You never hear someone that's retiring saying 401k is a trap. That's the worst thing I ever did. I have all this money. It's ridiculous. It's not true. Right? It's not true. There's no other investment in the world where you put in $50,000, for example, and you made 500 to 600. Even if you put 50 and you made 110, that's awesome as well, right? But that's not the way compound interest works, especially if you do it early and you have time in the market. You keep on investing, keep on going. Your portfolio is gonna outwork you. You can only work so much, and your portfolio and your compound interest is gonna work more than you, and that's what an investment in a 401k will do. Now, the one thing she said that I do agree with is you shouldn't just do a 401k and that's it, because it's true. There's things in life that you need to handle today, right? If you want to buy a house, you want to buy a car, I get that. But there's other things you could do. You can open up a taxable brokerage account, put money in that. Once again, you could put money in an HSA. You could put your money in a Roth IRA. There's so many things that you can do. You can even put money in a high yield savings account to save it up. There's so many things you do. And to me, doing some of everything is by far one of the best options when it comes to not just retiring, but also to just building wealth, period. Hands down. Retirement account stays for retiring. That's it. The rest you want to build for life emergencies, you can do that now. There is no stopping you. So, guys, drop a comment down below. What do you think about 401ks? Do you like her advice? Because believe it or not, there's a lot of people out there who agree with her that says 401k is trash. Let me know your experience with your 401k as well. Drop a comment down below, hit the like, leave a comment, subscribe. Catch you in my next video. Peace.